Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich. Um, this is being recorded on the 21st of December. Happy Yule! Um, but this is around the time that I typically try to do the next year's plan for this channel. So I haven't recorded in a while, uh, pronounced with a WH, while. Um, so do excuse me if I do ramble, but that is where we find ourselves. There has been a lot going on this year, some of which I have shared, and some that has happened since I've last talked to you on the regularly scheduled basis. So let's go first to the normal spiel of thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you to them. I do believe we still have Linda and Sophia. Thank you very much. And if you would like to be a patron on Patreon, supporting the endeavor to start a Christo-Pagan church here on YouTube, you can definitely go there. The link is down below. If you would like to support me as an individual, and I'll get more into that here in a little bit, some things that are happening with that. My eBay is down below as well. You can go ahead and support me that way. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep me doing what I do. And otherwise, if you can share this on social media, if that is something that is safe for you to do, go ahead and do it that way. Especially if you do not have the money or do not wish to spend the money on on watching this content and whatnot. Um, yeah, I am drinking tea right now because I've had plenty of coffee. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning, and it's quarter to 4. And so let me run down some things that happened this year. We've had some big events happening this year, some smaller events, some big events. Is well, one, I got married. Um, Two, I have gone to a friend's wedding down in Kansas, so that was a big trip for me in June. Saw some family on the way back, all that good stuff. Um, let's see. I still have things like the majority of the witchy room blocked off with stuff that was basically just supposed to be temporary to clear out the house so I could have guests over for said wedding. And yeah, some of that stuff is still in here. I'd say most of it is still in here. More on that in a minute. But yeah, that's the big event that happened this year. Other than that, some other events like getting a dead tree taken down so it doesn't come into the house was a big event. Trying to think of what else. I was already going through all this stuff in my mind, of things that have happened, and I rambled off of about a list of 5 or 6 things that have happened, and I can't remember hardly any of them. I will say that if you hear some background noise, it could be because we have another uh, little fixture in our home, and that is in the form of a robot vacuum. We broke down finally and got a Roomba. Um, uh, for a minute there, for about a month and a half, we had a a knockoff Roomba type, but it wasn't getting all of the pet fur. So far, very happy with the J7 Plus series. It empties its waste into a collection point and everything. So yeah, if you either hear the collection vacuum, which sounds like a jet engine going off, yeah, if you hear that, I'll try to pause the video so you don't hear it. But if you hear that, that's what that is. And if you hear something bumping into things, that again is the Roomba. It's really cool. I'm loving it. It takes a lot of the anxiety away from having to do the vacuuming and whatnot. So, and with two dogs and two cats, that is a lot of vacuuming. I don't care who you are, I ain't got time for that. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of loving that. That was a little bit of a Christmas gift to myself after trying the knockoff Roomba, the lower cost uh, item, using that for about a month and a half, finding out that yes, this is something that I would enjoy having, um, because of the headache that it takes away. So I upgraded to an actual Roomba and got that. So something that I'm really enjoying having, and I just have it on a scheduled basis, and it just goes throughout the house, bumps into some stuff here and there, and cleans up as it needs. So yes, kind of loving having that. If you have the finances to support that, 10 out of 10 do recommend getting something that self cleans your floors, your stepping surfaces. Um, I am still trying to look for something that does like automatic dusting and automatic, like, fluff and fold of all of our clothes, something so I don't have to do it would be great. If I could have a live-in maid, if any of you are wanting to be live-in maids, let me know. Uh, we can converse about this, because yes, definitely something that would be a huge help. However, I don't have the funds to support this, so basically I'd be paying you in food. Um, so yeah, food, tea, coffee, all of those things. I can support that, I think. And puppy loves. We have, again, two dogs, two cats, puppy and kitty love, respectively. So, um, let's see what else. There's one other thing that I can remember off the top of my head that I'm fairly excited about, that I never thought would actually happen. Or it's one of those things that you didn't think it was going to happen because you spent so much time with it not happening. You didn't think it was ever going to actually come to fruition. And when, but in the back of your mind, you always knew that you needed to do this. And that thing is writing a fiction story. Um, I took part in NaNoWriMo this year, and I won. I completed just over 50,000 words, to where, the story had ended. There's a lot of editing to do, to both add more words, make it a full-fledged novel rather than like a short novel or a long novella uh, span there. But yeah, I have a lot of editing to do. So, a lot of adding of things that, looking at it with a second thought, it's like, okay, there needs to be more history here. There needs to be more of a backstory here than what I originally put in there. So, that's one thing that needs to happen. But other than that, yeah, I've come up with a story out of my brain thing and put it onto sheets of paper, and it is fantastic, and it's so rewarding, the feeling of that. So that's a big thing that has happened in my life within the last like month. So I think I finished that on November 25th. So coming up on almost 1 month exactly. I think it was November 25th is when I finished. However, Um, this is going to be a multiple part series, and I would like to at least have a couple of the books under my belt before actually going ahead and publishing. And the reasons for that are because I hate it. Me personally, I hate it whenever somebody writes a book and it's like, oh, I want to hear the continuation of this story, and you end up having to wait like 3 years for them to finish that. At least this way I can have them on a timed release and whatnot. Something that I think would be really fun to do. Basically, excuse me, I came up with a fictional town, and I'm telling the stories of the inhabitants of said town. It is a murder mystery, non spiritual in nature, non not, it's non-magical in nature, so there isn't any magicalness behind what these people are doing. It is just brute strength logic type. So if a murder mystery or a mystery in general is your cup of tea, something that you might enjoy in the future. In the first installment, we do have a kidnapping and murder. Oh my gosh, what can we find out? Will we catch the person? So that's one thing that's going on there. But the other part of this novel series is also unpacking some of the thought processes that not necessarily that I've had with regard to certain characters, but uh, unpacking some things that are happening in real life, uh, not only to me but on a national level, on an international level in some cases. Unpacking those things and delving deep into the the thought processes behind those. And to me, this is like an exercise of, you know, thinking through all of these different situations and coming to terms with where I stand and everything. So it's very therapeutic for me, as well as hopefully eventually being out there for other people to help them process where they stand on certain things as well. Um, so yeah, that is one thing that I'm doing with regards to writing, but it also has made me catch the writing bug. So as I've already mentioned, and whoever is driving out there has a very loud car, that is just rude. But um anyway, they're gone now. Okay. So one thing that I'm also doing in conjunction with writing these fiction uh novels, this fiction series, and coming up with the concepts and characters and all that other stuff, from bare basics, assigning names and figuring out who they are, using tarot for that, and finding out some of the situations that they are dealing with in life. Um, uh, that I'm also doing and I'm trying to think of where my next thought is here. One other thing that I'm doing is also writing a book on Christo-Paganism. And so I have a fiction and a nonfiction book both happening at one time. The Christo-Pagan book, or Christo-Paganism book, is going to be a little longer in the future as far as writing it all down and everything. And these are going to be my thoughts, my feelings about things, not necessarily a be all end all. I will be uh, mentioning a lot of different aspects in there. It's basically if you were to want me to teach you about my practice, that is basically what this is going to be. So, there's that. Another thing is I'm also going to be writing a uh, Christo-Pagan church. The catechism that I started doing videos on, still haven't quite finished the series of videos on that, but uh, I am also writing the catechism type of version of where our church stands on certain things, certain issues, the thoughts of salvation or of original sin, of when life begins, when it ends, stuff like that. And if it is something that we don't have a definitive collective reasoning for, or a collective stance on, especially as a church body as a whole, um, you know, the ways that the arguments on one way or another. So things such as, let me give an example. Like if I put in there, when does life begin? If you're talking biblically, life begins at at the first breath, and this is a breath by deity that has been passed on, and that is a spirit. And whenever the last breath is cast, that is the ending of that spirit, or the exiting of that spirit from the body and whatnot. That's one view. Another view is, you know, life begins at conception, and whenever your heart stops beating, that is death. That there are different nuances to each argument, and this catechism type of version is basically, because the Christo-Pagan Church is not a be all end all. You must um, subscribe to these beliefs, or else you cannot be a part of it. It is more of, how are you coming to your conclusions? Here are some conclusions others have come to, and this is why they came to those conclusions. And now you have to figure this out. What does it mean for you? So it's more of, trying to ask those big questions, and fulfill those big answers as well, along with certain ritual aspects of the church that are happening when we actually have church services. So those will be spelled out. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? The why always being the backbone of what we are doing. Understanding the concept of why we are doing certain things in certain order, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So I'm going to be writing that book. And then there's going to be a prayer and Book of Shadows type of book that go along with it, that is just going to be chock full of any types of witchcraft, any type of prayers that are more specifically geared towards those who are Christo-Pagan. So you might have, let me think of an example here. You might have like a money spell. Easy example. In a Wiccan setting, it might say Goddess Mother and God the Father, da 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 da, all that stuff. And in a Christo-Pagan version, it would be more of something like Mother and Father Gods, or something of that nature. Not a huge difference, but then whenever we come to prayers from like a biblical texts, the Lord's Prayer, for example, Our Father who art in heaven, will obviously be changed, and being our Mother and Father in heaven, etc., etc. So, along with some lesser known prayers, blessings, stuff like that as well. So, let me pause this real quick. Okay, so we're back. I wanted to pause because the Roomba was going on the vacuum collector, the self emptying pad thing that it goes on. And like I said, that is extremely loud, so I didn't want that to be on the recording. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble now. What's the freaking point of this video is basically to connect with y'all again, and we're also going to discuss the setup for the 2023 on YouTube here. Okay. So, let's see. Back to the writing portion. There's going to be a lot of writing that's happening. You will see parts of it ending up on Christo-Paganism.com. We still have the domain for that. Still got to do a lot of stuff with that. And yeah, that is one place that you will find me trying to go towards more often, because going on that unnamed social media platform that's out there, the one that begins with a T, has a little tiny bird. Yeah, screw Elon Musk on that. Yeah, I don't need to be in that toxic situation. So yeah, I'm just gonna like not be on there. Um, so I am going to be posting more on Christo-Paganism.com. Not that I used Twitter a lot before, and not that I use social media a lot, period. But whenever I have like thoughts and ideas and whatnot, and I want to connect with people, it used to be more with Twitter, but yeah, it's kind of sucking nowadays, and I'm gonna get away from using that. I do want to archive some of my tweets off of there. Um, there are some pictures and whatnot, but other than that, no, I don't need to be on there. I think I'm just gonna, you know, I'll keep my Twitter, but I just won't be posting on there. Again, not that I posted that much, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna really post on there much at all ever, until somebody else owns it or until it just completely goes under. Anyway, if you want to connect with me on Christo-Paganism.com, feel free to do that. Um, I do need to figure out a way that I can set that up so people can register a login on there and communicate back and forth with each other without it being a way for robots from Russia and from these medical sites or whatever to just post ad nauseum. I mean, I had well over, you know, I think was well over 10,000 posts. I think it was. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I know I had to go through and delete all of the profiles that were on there, except for a few that I knew were actually people. Um, yeah, I had to take them off of all those usernames off there, and I had to block one so they cannot log in. Period. Um, and then they tried to log in as somebody else, and it's the way bots work. It's a thing. So yeah, I do need to find a way to lock that down so that it is more secure and a safer environment for everyone involved. So yeah, I'm going to be working on Christo-Paganism.com a lot more. Um, and you will find some of these writings that I'm doing over on there, either in shorter form than what they would be in an actual book, or maybe even long form on some things here and there. So definitely something that's going to happen. Uh, anyway, let's get into the actual 2023 of this. Okay. The one thing that I haven't mentioned since recording this is I have not mentioned my job. There is a reason for that. As y'all know, I work at a storage unit facility, and I haven't shared the name of said storage unit facility. I do not wear their logos, their branding, anything like that whenever I am recording because, well, it's not my company. Why the fuck would I do that? Just doesn't make any sense. Sorry for the language, but yeah, this company has me a little pissed off. There were some things that have happened. I'm still working there, and yeah, I have come to the conclusion that I do need to um, take some time away from YouTube for approximately 6 months. And when I return, it it will I will continue filming, and we're going to get into the lineup when that of what's going to get done whenever I'm done with this part. The reason that I want to take 6 months off from basically interacting on YouTube, as far as making videos, being a creator and whatnot, is because I need to set my focus on my eBay business. And again, link is down below. Whenever I finished with active duty, whenever I went from active duty to the reserves. As y'all know, if you've been watching a while, I'm in the Air Force. I went from active duty Air Force to the reserves. And when I did that, my intention was to do eBay full time. I have still yet to be able to live off of doing eBay full time. And if you hear little tiny barks, Mr. Dobby, Mr. Dobby is in the bedroom, I think, laying on the bed, and he's having some dreams. And he was having these dreams earlier, and he started, yeah, that type of thing. I don't know how much of that actually came through. I don't want to wake him up because it was so adorable that he did that. But anyway, getting back to things. What was I saying? Oh, I did not quit active duty after what I think it was 12 years um, to work at a storage unit facility for the rest of my life. No, especially not working at a storage unit facility for $16.30 an hour. Whenever a new hire is making 70 cents more than me at the same level I am and taking my exact same position. No. No. So I have basically already told my store manager of the store that I am at now, which is not the store that I used to be at, and we will get into that at a later date whenever this is all settled. That my conditions of working at this company are basically the same as what our leases are for storage unit rentals, and that's a month to month. You know what? There's going to be a time whenever I just say, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm done. And I walk away. I did tell him that I would give him notice. I would give him plenty of time to know that I was leaving, to either find a replacement or to make other arrangements. So that is something that I am considering doing. However, I'm not doing that yet. During this 6 months, I am going to be feverishly posting on eBay all of the things that I can in order to try to prove to myself that I am capable of making X amount of dollars per month to keep myself and my husband afloat. He has a job at the same company and everything, and if I leave, he might leave too. Don't know. But I mean, he's okay at the facility that he's at. He's at a different location. And it's just basically two individuals. One individual, which I will not talk about until all of that is settled, because it is a very toxic situation. And the other one is the person above that individual. And yeah, they're just not very good at their job. And if they ever see this, call me up. I'll tell you why. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to get too much more into that. I will discuss that whenever the time comes. But in this 6 months will be me posting on eBay all of the things that I can in order to try to make this dream of living off of my buying and selling and being an antique dealer or a reseller, my dreams of that becoming a reality. If I can prove to myself in that 6 months that this is definitely something that I can do, which I do think it is possible, working towards those goals and whatnot. And it's not that I'm going to give up my business, but, after that 6 months, but if I prove to myself, yes, this is something that is possible, then I will probably end up quitting my hourly job at the storage unit facility. So I mention that because that is what my focus needs to be right now. is really getting my eBay store up off the ground, continuously making X amount of dollars per month. I have an idea of the amount in my mind, but I'm not going to share those numbers. Not right now. Maybe in the future I will. I don't know. Maybe I will. But I'm going to be working on that. In addition to that, I will be, from time to time, recording videos that will be pre-posted, or I will be interacting with my patrons on Patreon. If my patrons do not want to continue supporting me whenever I'm not making content on a regular basis, I totally understand, totally get it. You do what you need to do, and I do not hold that against you one bit. So yeah, that it is just what it is. And whenever I come back to making content full time, if you want to come back, no hard feelings. I really, I am amazed that anybody wants to support me in any way. That just astounds me. So there's that. No videos or no planned videos for the first 6 months of 2023. Okay, so in July of 2023, you're going to be hit with a lot of things. The first one is going to be Terror Talk Tuesdays. Those are staying. I absolutely love doing the Terror Talk Tuesdays. They are not that difficult to do. They're actually usually shorter than what this video is, so that's pretty darn easy for me to bust out one of those and record several of those in a day. The editing does take a little bit longer if I need to edit things down or whatnot. This is not getting edited. What it is what it is, whatever. So there's that. Terror Talk Tuesday is going to continue. That's going to run every Tuesday from July to December, I think I think that's what I planned out, so that it concludes in December with the major arcana, I do believe. Anyway, I could have my dates wrong. I don't have my planner in front of me. I didn't plan all of this video out. I had it all scripted out before, and I said, oh yeah, I was gonna just do certain things, and then it's come to my realization that I really need those 6 months, which is a little different from what I've actually had planned. Sorry that I'm like poking my eye. I have a little itch right there. Anyway, yeah, I did some soul searching type of stuff, and figured out that yes, I do need those 6 months. But anyway, so my original plans have changed from what I've had written down. Anyway, let's get back onto track here. Table Talk Thursdays will remain. Those are, again, something that's easy to do. I think the Table Topics Cube does raise some good questions to ponder on. And then whenever we're finally done with those, we're going to the big book of If. And yeah, I think that's just going to be absolutely fun to go through the big book of If. I think it's books 1, 2, and 3 all combined. Or maybe it's just 1 and 2. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a lot of if questions. If this happened, or if you had to choose, would you choose this or this? That type of thing. Those types of questions. Yes. So I'm going to go through that book. And we're going to pick out some. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Cool. But right now we're still going through the Table Topics Cube. Anyway, those are remaining. The Witchy Wednesdays is going to temporarily go away. The amount of research and in delving into different aspects here and there, I just don't have the time to do that. Especially, I don't have the time ahead of those 6 months to pre-record certain things to come out later. So those are going to get postponed temporarily, or maybe permanently. Don't know, but they may make a comeback. So that's what I'm saying, temporarily. They may in the future come back. Let's see. The book club series, I know I left y'all high and dry on that. Do trust me, I had a bad back that whenever I recorded that postponing, and I did intend to come back to it. Stuff happened, and we find ourselves once again, Rich leaving everybody high and dry in the middle of a book and not finishing it. Whenever we come back from the 6-month break, I will continue with the shamanic, or the temple of shamanic witchcraft. We will continue studying through that. After that, the Witchy Book Club series will cease for now, temporarily. Hold on. I think the robot's either going back to its cradle to charge and, empty. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Or is it just going to the bedroom? Yep. Okay. If you don't know how loud this is, I think it's going on. Nope. Is it not? I don't know. Nope. It's actually going into the bedroom. I don't know if y'all... I don't think y'all can hear that. Anyway. If you can, I do apologize. But let's see. The Witchy Book Club series is going to cease for now. We may come back to the book club series in the future. After the Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft is done, we may come back to it in 2024. But for 2023, it is going to be done. After we finish the Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft by Christopher Penzak. So that's where we sit for that. Let's see. There is one other thing. And I want to get everybody's opinion on this before I make this. Actually, there's two things that I would like to do. The first one is a news segment. This wouldn't be an every week thing because we don't always have something to report every week. They don't necessarily have to be witchy in nature. They can be political. They can be they could be any religion. I do subscribe to and I get a daily email every day from the Religious News. Is it Religious News Network or Religious News Service? I don't even have my phone over here because I've been watching YouTube videos all day and it was almost dead. It's something I do whenever I'm also doing eBay. So even today has mostly been eBay. I think it's either Religious News Network or Religious News Service. That is one of the websites that I get a daily newsletter from. And it has a breakdown of, some top religious news. And basically my thoughts on that was doing a commentary on the news of the day or of the week, top articles of the week, and giving comments on different things here and there. That was the first one that I was thinking of doing. Replacing the Witchy Wednesdays with that, or maybe doing a Saturday night session where we just sit around and maybe do a live. I don't know if I want to do lives because that makes me really nervous. Anyway, let me know what you think of that. I don't know. I just threw out there that I might do a live, and they make me nervous. But let me know. Maybe we don't do a live. Maybe we do like a preview type of thing, or a YouTube preview. I think it's preview, isn't it? Where I pre-do the video and then I think it's what it's called. Oh, words are escaping me right now. Damn it, brain. So maybe I can do something like that, and we can all sit in the chat and converse with each other, because trying to talk and keep your eyes on a chat is not something that is necessarily easy to do, and some people can do it. I don't think I could. Anyway, let me know what you think on that one by leaving a comment down below. The next one is something that I am really excited for, because of the change that we can make in the world. And that is a Council of Psychic Research. Now, this is not like, oh, what was it? I think there's a Council of Psychical Research or something like that in England, or something like that. No, this one is primarily geared towards opening up the cold cases out there. Kidnappings, murders, unsolved cases of that impact individual human beings. A lot of them are missing cases or murder cases. And going through those, going through what we know that has been reported by the news, I'm trying to figure out a way that, with cold cases, there is a way that you can get the case file, so you can know all of the different parts of it and help with the research and whatnot. But what my thought of this is looking at these as psychic individuals. So with this, we have a couple levels. You can, if you are just now, stepping into, or stepping your toe into the psychic world, the intuitive world, this would be a way to exercise your intuitive abilities. If you are already fully immersed in your intuitive abilities, and you want to keep those psychic, you want to keep the psychic juices flowing, this would be something for you. If you are somebody who is starting out, wants to exercise out, and wants to help the community along the way, or if you just want to help the community along the way, the benefits are obvious. It does give families closure. It does give, it could reunite an individual with their family. In the cases of a murder, it could bring peace to the family to know who done it, who was involved in the different situations. I already have one case that I am writing up now, and the modalities that each individual uses are obviously going to be different. If you're one that you are a meditative type of person, go into meditation, possibly speak with individuals that would give you insights beyond the veil. If you are a person who likes to employ the Ouija board, then, get to cracking. If you use a pendulum, spirit box, any of those modalities, automatic writing, these are ways that you can exercise your modalities and also try to contribute to the case. Whenever the case is all done, I would compile everybody's findings, their own individual type of findings, into one big report, and we send it off to the authorities to be able to ascertain whatever they can from it. If you are just a true crime buff and you want to help possibly close a case, y'all can join us too. If you don't want anything to do with the psychic part of it, absolutely go ahead, still join in the fun on that. These are cases that are going to be a little heavy, so do remember to take care of yourself on situations like that. That Roomba is squeaking. I think it might have a hair where it's not supposed to be. Hold on. It's gonna go to his cradle. Let me see if I can pick up how obscenely loud this thing is. Hold on. It's almost there. It's got to go out into the hallway and then like turn and then like go up onto its cradle. That's what it's doing now. I can actually hear whenever it actually like clicks into place type of thing. Or I usually can. Hold on. I want you to hear how obscenely loud this is. There, it's going up. Listen. That is how loud this thing is. Whenever it empties, it is a big suction. Anyway, I've just been like, I wonder how loud that really is on video, and now I've captured it, so we're gonna find out. Anyway, um, what was I saying? Oh, the benefits to this are obvious. If you want to join in the fun on that, I don't know if I can do both of the what you call it's the news and the cold cases. I know I can do the cold case ones. They are going to be like one per every 3 months or like once a quarter. So the first one would come out in January, or I mean in July, and let's see, July, August, September. Yeah, right? No. Yeah. Yeah. July, August, and September. You would have time to work on the first one, read the case, or go into it completely blind, um, and come back after. Uh, I will be giving a synopsis of the events that have happened, and then you know, you can either listen to that part or not, et cetera, et cetera. I'll describe more whenever we get to that point. Those are going to be once a quarter because it does take a lot of time and effort to get the case file together on our end. And that is transcribing news articles, any news article that I can come across that has the person's name or the case at all mentioned. I copy everything down from it. Um, Looking into the backgrounds of any people involved, all that stuff. So, pulling up maps of where everybody was at any given time, that type of thing. So it does take a lot. And one thing that, one website that I am grateful for is, I believe it's called uncovered.com, where um, they put case files together or compile the data there for people to figure out and help solve cases. So that is one resource that I'm going with, but we are also compiling the case file for our own use, and a comprehensive case file at that. And in situations where I can, I will also get the actual case file. So if that is something that you are interested in, helping solve crimes, do let me know. If the news one is something that interests you, do let me know. Uh, Maybe if I can, maybe I can do both. We'll readdress later on, after the midpoint of 2023. Maybe we'll do both for half a year and see where everything pans out. We'll see. And then Sundays we have church services. By that time, again, I I am not kidding you. This room is a complete disaster. If my camera wouldn't freak out whenever I touch it and move it, I would probably do a quick pan of, maybe I'll do that at the very end. I don't know. Um, I would do a quick pan of like, oh my gosh, there's so much crap in this room. It just all needs to go. This whole area behind my desk, is completely filled for the most part. So it's pretty bad. The altar has things all over it because I needed to get everything out of the rest of the house. And anything where I didn't know where it would go or where it should be put just all made its way in here. So by that time, uh, whenever I was setting everything up for the wedding, you know, everything was crunch time, it needs to go. And I made the sacrifice of putting things on the altar, which is a big no-no for me. But whenever I came back uh, from Dover after the wedding, came back, and the day I got back, I finally tested negative for COVID. So I'm like, oh, great. So since then, it has all been work and work and more work. And yeah, it's just been a lot of me just trudging through and doing what I do, um, with trying to make my monies. But yeah, anyway, that has been about a year's worth of stuff all in one video. Jeez. I'm sorry this video was so long. I haven't rambled this much in a long time. My tea is stone cold and gone. And it's about 4:30. Luckily tonight, I have already made most of dinner. I am making my Mediterranean style meatball soup. Yes, popping those peas. Um, but I'm making meatball soup. And I have made the naan bread, the Syrian bread, the flatbread. I have made that because it is great to dip in that. Um, so there's that. But I'm actually using turkey instead of beef, so this one's a little experimental. I already have everything already made for it, except for just putting it on, putting the pot on and you know throwing the meatballs in and actually cooking everything. I have everything prepped and all that. So all I have to do is cook. And I just made the bread this morning, so yeah. I am quite exhausted already. Like I said, I've been up since 5 this morning, and I've just been I've listed on eBay. I think I listed what, 14 items, I think it was today. Which isn't a huge deal, but I'm going through old pictures that I have to be able to list them. I also let's see. Let me go down my to-do list for a day off. Um, well, first things first. The night before, I get hubby's clothes picked out if he's working. Get his clothes picked out. If I'm working the next day, I get my clothes picked out. That happens every night. I also prep the coffee pot for in the morning. So that gets done every night. But on days that I'm off, I get up, get my coffee, have a cigarette, whatnot. Make sure that he has enough cigarettes to go out to work if he's working, um, because he sucks at making cigarettes. So I don't put him in charge of that. Um, let's see. I did the dishes, emptied the dishwasher from its last load, filled it up with more dishes. Sometimes I do laundry, depending on the day and how much laundry there is to do. I got a shower. I made the naan bread. I prepped dinner for tonight. I did the 14 eBay listings, and let's see. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Today has been a little bit more relaxed than what it usually is, and I cleaned the kitchen. Um, yeah, usually I try to get a little bit more done on a day off. The one thing that I didn't do um, was clean the bathroom. I try to clean the bathroom at least once a week, but that doesn't always happen. I try to get to it as much as possible. Let's put it that way. Um, but yeah, I do have laundry to fold before hubby comes home. I already put my clothes out for tomorrow, and I got to set the coffee pot for the morning. I think I already have his clothes picked out, but no, no, no. He's not working tomorrow, so I don't have to do that. I make sure that he has clothes every day for whenever he's going to work. He's taking vacation days this week, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, I have all of my holiday shopping done. I have already wrapped everything. Everything's already under the tree. The only ones that haven't gotten anything this holiday season are the kitties, because what do you get kitties that can't play with toys? Yeah, because the dogs will destroy their toys, and they don't know how to keep them upstairs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll just give them some treats. Jelly likes her catnip, and I think I have some of that somewhere around here. I have catnip. I think I still have it. Anyway, yeah, I'll give Jelly some catnip. She'll have a good time being spaced out, and Karen will get some treats. So yeah, and the puppies already have toys that they're getting. So we are all Christmas shopped out, and yeah, that's my life lately. Anyway, I've rambled on quite long enough. I don't want to stretch this out to an hour. I'm not going to edit this. Maybe I'll put in a little music. I don't know. Yeah, screw it. I'll put it. No, you know what? I'm not even putting in music. Screw that. Nope, nope. Y'all get what you get today. Anyway, that is the 2023 schedule. Again, there's a lot of things going on, um, and a lot of things to look forward to in 2023. I did want to try to start up the church here on YouTube, but with my schedule and everything else going on, especially at work and whatnot, and how I need to prep for eBay, or to get eBay moving a lot better or a lot more efficiently. Um, it just cannot happen right this minute. But once I get this room cleaned out, I can start pre-recording them for July. So anyway, I may make videos here and there. I may make videos or posts on Patreon. Um, all of those good things. And one thing to look forward to is on Saturday. Yes, Saturday I am still doing my night before Christmas reading. So look forward to that. And that's all that I have. Anyway, until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.